I'm here with the leader guys today. I've got Kevin here and Steve, and we're going to talk about all sorts of different things within the monitoring realm, but let's really get into the hybrid, SDI IP workflow and transition and stuff like that. And you guys have been working on a lot of aspects of this, so just tell me a little bit more about this, Steve.
Yes. Well, our big thing is on the transition is trying to make it almost invisible to the operators. So the operators really don't need to know whether the information is coming in via SDI or whether the information is coming in via IP to keep their aspects perfectly clean. But then on the other side, we need to provide the full tool set that actually the EIC or the engineers need to be able to troubleshoot it, because it brings up a whole new layer of things when you're dealing with IP that you need to deal with, looking at timing, looking at PTP, looking at NMOS. So we need to provide these tool sets for the engineers, as well as keep things as simple as we can for the operator so their life really doesn't change.
Yeah, so when we get into, remote, everybody's into remote and distributed production these days, and how do you deal with monitoring on that? Because you got to make sure that's reliable, and particularly on the real time side. Kevin, how's your opinion on that?
Yeah, well, remote and distributed production has fundamentally changed how broadcasters operate. While it delivers clear efficiencies, it also introduces significant challenges around visibility, timing confidence, and fault isolation, especially when signals are no longer confined to a single facility, but distributed between multiple sites or possibly even cloud environments. So one of the biggest issues customers face is maintaining that real-time insight into signal integrity and network performance. So with traditional SDI, problems are often easy to localize. In IP and remote workflows, issues such as packet loss, PTP instability, or intermittent timing errors can be far more difficult to detect and diagnose without the right tools in place. And this is where, we see the leader waveform monitors, especially with their hybrid SDI and IP analysis capabilities. So this is allowing broadcasters to gain that end-to-end monitoring ecosystem.
Yeah.
That means that they can correlate traditional signal parameters like video levels and HDR compliance with IP-specific metrics like jitter, latency, PTP alignment.
Yeah. Well, let's dive deeper into that just for a minute. So you brought up PTP there, and obviously it's what people call the new blackburst as far as that goes. But it is pretty complex. Now you guys have a real cool thing, your sync align technology. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, Steve?
Yeah. So our sync align technology. One of the unique things, though, when we brought PTP into this whole ecosystem is that you got blackburst coming off of a SPG going down to an ECO, the emergency changeover, and going out the door. But you got PTP going out to the network to provide that same switching capability. And you could actually have a fault where one half of your system rolls to the backup, the other half of your system still on the primary sync generator. And this really raises the potential to have actually timing issues between the two, because they're not coming off the same SPGs, or beyond that, maintenance issues, because the maintenance person comes in to work on what happened and they end up taking the other side down. So our sync align is a system where we've put in place that if one side switches, either the SDI side or the IP side, both sides will switch to the backup together. And then we treat it like on the PTP side, we treat it like we do the SDI. Once it switches, it stays there, and the engineer has to say it's okay, and I will bring it back, because PTP was designed to auto recover. But one of the issues we've had is where PTP kind of gets flaky and the system starts switching over, switching back, switching over, switching back, which can be just a nightmare in the video industry. You know, PTP in the data world, PTP in the audio world, the timing parameters are much wider. We're dealing with pixel accuracy, and you start moving things around, it can get really messy. So the sync line we have keeps both generators either on the master or on the backup generator together. And that way you don't have timing issues, you don't have maintenance issues when you need to go in and repair the system.
Yeah, that's really cool, because one of the issues, as we know, when people are switching over between main and backup, etc., is having a little bit of hysteresis in there and making sure you're not flopping back and forth. And certainly your sync line has all that figured out, particularly. Anyway, that's great, guys. I appreciate the input on that today.
Not a problem. We appreciate the questions.
No, it's thank you very much. And obviously, we look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh,
yes.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have all of this in actually live running on the booth.
So you've got a full demo there, and people can dive in and see what the issues are. That's good to see.
They can come and break it.
They can come and break it. Perfect.
Because we know they're good at that, don't we, Steve?
Yes, they are.